So you want to start a band, you want to be the lead singer, you want to be a rock star, you want to be famous. In this video, I will review some microphones that I personally use that are budget friendly, coming up. Welcome back to Tim TV, and in this video we are going to go over some microphones that are budget friendly and that are great for on stage. Now the first microphone we're going to talk about, do not buy it. I do not know how I have one, but this microphone is a Shure PG48, looks like that. Do not buy this microphone. I know people will buy them for their kids because it says Shure and they've heard of the brand Shure Brothers or Shure. This is just $25 microphone. It will not sound good at all on stage. You'll probably get made fun of if you try pulling the sucker out. I mean, it's good for like karaoke, I guess. Yeah, I would not recommend the Shure PG48. I mean, I guess you could like use it for a music video, but not close up because you don't want people to know. And if you like swing it around or you want to throw it or something, that's probably all what you're gonna do with this Shure PG48. So kids, do not buy a Shure PG48. And if you're low on money and you want to spend about 30-40 bucks for a microphone, I suggest getting a Samson R21 microphone. Looks like that. I mean, they're lightweight. I use these for my live sound, for like backing vocals and stuff. They're great mics, they work. They don't really clip or feedback. You know, they're about 30 bucks online. You could buy a 3-pack of them with a little case. They're great microphones. So yeah, the Samson R21, I have like 3 or 4 of them, and that's really good backing vocal mics. Again, it's good for starting out. You know, if you're looking for a cheaper microphone, go this way, a little bit cheaper. They also do make a Samson R21S, like that. And the only difference is they just put a little on-off switch, which that's always handy. But again, with on-off switches, you got to be careful, because if you play a show and you accidentally turn the switch off and you start singing, the sound guy's going to think your mic's bad or your cable's bad, and then you look stupid when your switch is off. But also, if your cable or something starts to feed back, you could just kill it when you're not using it. So it all depends on preference. I personally like the on-off switch only when I'm running live sound, and I like to use this microphone for a talkback mic, so I could talk to the band through the monitors. So that way I can just turn it on and off. It's easier than turning off on and off on the mixer. But yeah, Samson R21S, that's a good microphone. You know, it's about 30-35 bucks depending on like how old it is and whatever. Now another microphone that I don't really use, I don't know why I have it, but it's an AKG Des. It's a cool microphone. It obviously, you could tell it's like brand new. I've never really used it. This is another, you know, $40 microphone. It's great for starting out. I probably wouldn't use this as a lead vocals live, but again, budget friendly, gets the job done. So that one is an AKG Des 8000. Now another mix-up that people tend to have on microphones is, obviously Shure is the best microphone out there, but they have so many different makes and models. So some people will come across this one, a Shure SM57. Looks like that. It's a dynamic microphone. Really good microphone, but don't really recommend using this guy for live sound for vocals. There is some bands that will use these if that's really all they have. It's fine, it'll get the job done, it'll sound good, but again, it's not a desired vocal microphone. Some bands will use these for music videos just because they're a little different. Really, this microphone is really made for like high-end sounds. So you would put this on a guitar amp to amplify the sound, or you could, what they really do is they put these on like drums. So you'll probably put this on a snare drum or hi-hats or overhead cymbals. But yeah, you can mic an acoustic guitar with this. It's a really good microphone. This is probably one of the best microphones to pick up live sound, and also you could record with this one for sure. This is a great microphone, the Shure SM57, but do not try running this through vocals. Now I just want to say really quick, Shure is not giving me money to make this video. They're not sending me these microphones to talk about. They're not endorsing me any way at all. I mean, it would be nice. This is just all stuff that I've accumulated over the years of my experience. As you know, I played bass in a band, actually a couple bands, for 10, 12 years. We toured, put out a bunch of records, did all that stuff. I did some backing vocals. So I kind of got the mix of some microphones. I'm also a music promoter at Mellowdown Productions. So I book bands, bring touring bands over here. I book some major label bands. Also have been hired from some promoters to run sound for, you know, big bands and stuff. So when doing live sound for big bands, they usually want like top of the line gear, but chances are if they're a national touring band, they're going to provide their own microphones. But I have promoted the band called Metro Station, and they're really famous, and they sent me a list of like their stage plot and stuff, and they provided their own wireless microphones, but they wanted 2 wired Shure SM58 microphones on the stage, on the ground for backups in case their wireless went out. So luckily I have a couple of them. I have these microphones, and I only bring them out for lead vocalists that don't provide their own microphones. So some of the bands that like I've worked for would be Chris Rowe from the Ataris, and he was very specific on the microphone, the mic stand, and all that stuff. And luckily I had all that gear, you know. And I've also worked with CJ Ramone, the second bass player from the Ramones. That was pretty cool. He didn't give a shit what he had, you know, because all the amps and stuff, everything was so overpowering in his set. But yeah, a lot of the touring bands usually bring their own microphones, which is great because nothing's worse when you're letting a pop punk band or something use your expensive microphone and they swing it around and it falls and gets fucked up. So the final microphone that I highly recommend, if you have the extra cash, go buy it. It's a Shure SM58. Looks like that. This is probably one of the top 2 best microphones you could buy and use. I did change the little filter on top to something a little bit bigger, because the one I had, eventually these people just keep dropping these microphones and bending up the little screens. So I just went and ordered something a little bit different, just so I could stand out from everybody else's microphones. Again, this is a Shure SM58 vocal mic, really good microphone. They're heavy duty. They run about $100 on Guitar Center, but I mean, you could probably snag one of these on Craigslist or the Facebook market for, you know, $75. They do make them with the on-off switch like the other microphones I was talking about, and you know, they're like $10 more. Those are good too. But again, it's just all your preference on if you hold your microphone while you're singing or if it's always on a stand. That's going to be your deciding factor. You know, if it's always on a stand, you probably want the switch, but if you're constantly holding the microphone, do not get the switch. What I've also done too in the past with these Shure microphones, last resort, you could take off the little screen and it just looks like that. And then you could just run this on guitar amps or drums if you need to. Again, use the SM57 if you have the money or the microphone, but this will get the job done. It's not recommended, but all else fails. But yes, this is the microphone to drop the money on. You won't be let down. Very basic. They do make other Shure models that are a little bit higher quality, just better wiring, better, you know, filters and stuff. But Shure SM58, go out and buy one. And also really quick, I want to talk about what makes your microphone good, is the microphone cable. You can't use a cheap dollar store microphone cable and expect your mic to sound good. The microphone cable that I use, it runs about $40–45 each for a 25 foot, and it's by LYX, and it's a pro microphone cable. It looks like that. Lifetime warranty that connects the cable to the actual male insert is just really strong, and that's usually where they break, right about here. And, you know, one wire will get loose and it'll cause feedback and clipping, and it'll piss you off, and sometimes it might even shock you. But I've done that before, where I've ordered 5 or 6 microphone cables, 20-footers that are all different colors, like red, blue, yellow, thinking, okay, it's 30 bucks for 6 microphone cables. That's cheap. And it's easier when you have all these colors on the stage to match your mixing board, so because everybody always switches their mics around and stuff. So I thought that was a way to go. Well, truth be told, those cables only lasted 2 shows. It's just, they're just cheaply made, just so they could produce a product. I was let down when I was using those, so then I just bought 2 of these $40 cables that work great, never had a problem. 25 foot, I would not recommend anything longer than that. It gets tangled up. I mean, if you need to go 50 feet, just put 2 together, no problem. So again, that's my reviews on some of these microphones, and once again, Shure is not sponsoring me at all. I would love to, but I'm just doing this from my experience, trying to teach the younger kids, or even the older kids that are getting into music, that want to sing and just want to get out there and have fun. But a good microphone is the key to live vocals. Yeah, thanks for watching my channel. Please subscribe, follow me on Instagram, all that stuff. I'm trying to do more of these music related videos. If you have any questions, just shoot a comment down below, message me on Instagram. I'll try to get back to you guys. And again, thanks for watching.